It gives me great pleasure now to invite onto stage Senator the Honourable Christina Keneally, Senator for New South Wales, Deputy Leader of the Opposition in the Senate, Shadow Minister for Home Affairs. Welcome to you, Senator.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you to all of you for being here tonight. I wish everyone could see the view I can see from here. It looks fantastic. And isn't it good to be here together in person? I am just so, yes, let's give ourselves a round of applause for getting dressed up and coming out tonight. I do want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay respect to elders past and present, and thank the duo that we had tonight. What a remarkable welcome and acknowledgement of country we were able to enjoy. It is so wonderful to be here in person. Indeed, as my husband Ben and I were leaving the house tonight, walking down the street to get into a Uber to come here, a lady passed us on the street and she just kind of waved excited like, wow, people dressed up going out. So you do feel the bit of the novelty, don't you? And as joyous as it is to be here tonight to celebrate with all of you, I think it is also good to be here together to remember that this has been a challenging year, particularly here in Western Sydney. And while I don't want to dwell on this tonight, I do want to acknowledge that here in Western Sydney we have endured some of the most difficult circumstances, the most stringent lockdowns, the most remarkable set of circumstances between curfews and military on the street, families separated, vaccines arriving not on time to stop the third outbreak, so much uncertainty, fear, and loss. And indeed, as we gather tonight, grateful that we can be together as one big multicultural family, we also acknowledge that there are many amongst us, dozens indeed, of people in Western and Southwestern Sydney who lost their lives to COVID, and we acknowledge that loss tonight. I do also want to acknowledge the special guests here tonight and thank particularly my parliamentary colleagues, Dr. Jeff Lee and Steve Camper, for joining us this evening, and I look forward to their contributions to this evening. I also acknowledge that there are so many fabulous community leaders in the room. And indeed, in recent weeks, as we've been allowed to come out and be together, I've been able to visit with community leaders, with temples, with mosques, with churches. And it's been really remarkable to hear about the way community groups came together during the lockdown, packing food hampers, making sure people had access to masks and sanitizers. And people telling me stories of how, indeed, there were families and children waiting for those food hampers to arrive. Remarkable scenes in Australia. But what many people have remarked is thank God for the Salvos. Yes, thank God for the Salvos. Because alongside those religious and community leaders, the Salvation Army was there, feeding people, clothing them, and restoring their dignity and hope. And for more than a century, that is what the Salvation Army has done. They've been at the forefront of Australia's charities and dedicating to supporting those who are most in need. And throughout this time, throughout the time of the Salvos operation, we have seen migration drastically change this country and change it for the better. From the vibrancy of Cabramatta to the strong family and faith communities in Bosley Park and in Bonnyrigg and Prairiewood, here in Parramatta, the future is brimming with possibility and potential. And indeed, the party I represent, the Australian Labor Party, like the Salvation Army, understands that modern Australia and multicultural Australia are the same thing. And as Shadow Minister for Immigration and Citizenship, I congratulate the Salvation Army tonight for its multicultural engagement campaign, ensuring that Australians receive that equal opportunity for social support, community engagement, and faith expression. And as Labor's candidate for the seat of Fowler, I'm delighted that the Salvos will launch their campaign in Greater Western Sydney, one of the most culturally and linguistically diverse regions in Australia. Now, there are many great aspects of this campaign, and we're going to hear about them, I'm sure, but tonight I want to single out the Salvos Multicultural Ambassador Program, engaging those key representatives from some of Australia's most prominent cultural communities to create that two-way dialogue between the Salvation Army and community organisations. Now, should Labor win the next election, I hope that one of my first duties as the new Minister for Immigration will be to welcome the multicultural ambassadors to the Parliament. Now, the work of the Salvation Army in Western Sydney can't be underestimated. And as Mariam Zahid, the founder and director of Afghan Women on the Move, said when she was named a multicultural ambassador, 22 years ago when I first arrived in Australia, the dress I was able to afford was a blue dress from the Salvation Army shop, and I felt like a princess. And that's what the Salvos do. They change people's lives for the better. So I encourage everyone here tonight to connect and partner up with the Salvos to make that positive difference to our community. I hope you enjoy tonight, particularly the entertainment. I congratulate all the nominees and the award winners in advance, and I thank you all for your support for Multicultural Australia and for the Salvation Army.
Senator Keneally, thank you so much for remaining on stage and for your patience. If you could now please announce the winner of the 2021 Diversity and Inclusion Award.
The winner is Mariam Pelicano, House of Welcome.
Well, I have to say I feel very shocked to be up here. I feel very honoured actually to have received this award. When I look at everybody out here, I feel everybody is so deserving. We're one of just a few organisations who are working in the community in Western Sydney. House of Welcome is a direct service provider for people seeking asylum and refugees. And we're, as part of the Franciscan tradition, we have values as the pillars that guide everything that we do, and welcome is one of those pillars actually. And so for us, this is our guiding principle, that our doors are open to everybody, that we are serving people who may not have access to other services or opportunities. And one of the main things that we're doing at the moment is really trying to find a way that people with lived experience can have a voice. So we have programs that are looking at having opportunities for people with lived experience to give presentations. It's called the Truth Be Told program. We also have launched a catering social enterprise because we know that opportunities for people to participate in the community need a good wraparound and supportive environment for people to be able to excel and succeed and feel welcome and contribute and, you know, showcase their skill sets as well. So, yes, as you can tell, I'm rambling a little bit because I'm really shocked to be up here. But thank you very much, and thank you for my nomination here this evening as well. So thank you.